Hi, I'm Adam Brodie. I'm here with Mike Manning. Since Panthers Sports Network doesn't have the budget to send people out to Iowa to cover the game, we're going to bring you a little preview show instead of what to look for in the game coming up. One of the biggest storylines for Pitt heading into this game is Ray Graham as a number one rusher in the country right now. Ray Graham coming in this game, 57 attempts, 322 yards, 5.6 yards per carry, and 6 touchdowns. Number one in yards and touchdowns in the country. It's an incredible story.
Yeah, it really is. Ray Graham has been the bright spot for Pitt this year. I mean, I know it's early on. I know that it was Buffalo and Maine, but just because that they're not the best teams in the world doesn't mean that you can do those kind of numbers against them. It's really great.
Coach Graham has even said against Maine, he could have handed the ball off to Ray Graham a lot more, sort of running in the ground, gotten better numbers for Ray Graham, and maybe better numbers for Pitt overall in terms of the scoreboard. But he said one of the reasons he didn't want to just run Ray Graham down Maine's throat is because he's still trying to teach that spread offense to Tino. I don't know what you think, Mike, but he's not looking that great. He still needs to learn the spread offense. You have anything else to say about that?
Yeah, it's been pretty obvious that Tino has not been looking that great this year. I mean, it's pretty early on. He's got the little bit of time under his belt with the new offense, and I'd say give him a little bit more time before you can go ahead and say, let's switch quarterbacks, but he's still definitely got to pick it up in the near future.
With that being said, Coach Graham says there is no quarterback controversy. Tino is the starter, although we should expect to see Trey Anderson take a couple snaps in the Iowa game. He said as much. It just becomes a real question of when is he going to get the snaps? Is it if we're up? Is it if Tino struggles? That remains to be seen. Anyways, moving on. What I think Iowa needs to do to win this game against Pitt is James Vandenberg, their quarterback, needs to have success throwing against their secondary. He's completing 59.2% of his passes on the year, and I think Pitt's biggest defensive weakness is the secondary, to be sure. And they also have to exploit their home field advantage. Kinnick Stadium is really loud and raucous, and it's going to be the first road game for this new Pitt team with their new offense. And we'll see if they get some signals mixed up, possibly. You have any keys to the game for Iowa or anything like that?
I feel like that it definitely helps that they're at home. I mean, Penn State went down there when they were highly ranked a couple years ago and lost on a field goal. It's not an easy place to play. The passing game is something we really have to worry about. If they can make a couple big plays with their wideouts, real tall guys, big play opportunities with them, I don't think they have too much of a running game, but if they can make some big plays out of it and they can do good on defense, I'm definitely seeing some trouble for Pitt.
Well, I think the keys for Pitt to win this game is they need to attack Iowa's defense. Iowa's been giving up big numbers against spread offenses. Last week against Iowa State, something like 473 yards. If Pitt can get their spread offense together, that'll be good for them. Also, they need more accuracy in the passing game, which goes along with that. And I think the biggest thing, especially on the road, is they can't have any missed kicks this week if they want to win the game. It's going to be a close one. A missed extra point, a missed field goal from Kevin Harper would really, really cost them in the long run.
I agree. I mean, the kicking game is probably going to be big in this game. I don't think it's going to be a huge offensive game, even though for the first couple weeks it has been with both teams. I feel like that if Tino can just keep the at least short dink and dunk passes maybe, just to keep the drives going, and then feed it to Ray, and feed it to Ray. That's all we got to do.
That's our preview show for the Iowa game. We'll be bringing you more of these for all the away games and some of the bigger home games this year coming up. Thanks for watching. Hail to Pitt.